How about now?
Yeah.
Welcome back to Unmuted Family Showdown. Good evening, good morning, wherever you happen to be, or whenever I should say. We are up to a top 10 list tonight of the top 10 games we played in 2017 that were not made in 2017. That's the official Hunter title.
That is a very short Hunter title.
True.
So, yes. Hi. I literally woke up 10 minutes ago and took a shower. Luckily, Rebecca is hyped up on caffeine and ready to rumble. Woo!
Hey, half a day till Christmas break in the school district.
For some people. For some people. For some people.
Whatever. You have a day off coming up too.
Yes, I have Friday off. Alright, welcome. So, we always do this list every year because it seems like we're always a little late to the party when it comes to games. So, we always end up playing a lot of games in 2017 that did not come out in 2017. That includes like recently published games that came out like at the end of last year, or it could be just older games that we're trying out.
Your computer's like high-powered turbine is affecting the mic apparently.
Oh, the fan is just move the fan away from the mic. Yeah, I don't know why the fan sounds like an aircraft.
Because you have like 40 CPUs in that thing or something insane. It's ridiculous. I think it's gonna like take off and take over the world.
Yeah, you definitely can hear the fan. Oh well, hopefully it'll calm down. No! It's so excited right now. Yeah. All right, folks. So, how'd you make your list?
Well, I went on to my Board Game Geek plays, and I started in January, and I went through and looked at the games that we had played, that it was the first time we had played them, and it was not a 2017 game. And that's pretty much it. I went through the year. I found very quickly that towards the end of this year, we were finally hitting the 2017 games, so I mostly stuck with the first half of the year, to be completely honest, because a lot of them we hit and played at just like the beginning of the year stuff, like the Dice Tower Marathon and like FallsCon, and a lot of those conventions we tried a lot of games that were new to us.
Right. So yeah, what I did is I went on her played list. Because we virtually play almost every game together. So there's only a handful that we do not play together, and that was kind of a starting point, and I went from there. But yeah, it was tough because there's some games that we played like in the February, March time frame, and I got tricked, and we actually had played them like in the end of last year, so I had to be careful not to catch those.
What was that?
Because a lot of times we'll play a game and then it'll be a couple months before we play it again. So if we play it like in October and then of last year, and then we don't play it again until like January, February, it kind of looks like we've played it for the first time. But you gotta be careful. So
it's true. Aww. Sorry to hear you're not feeling well, Bailey. Get better. If this is going around, guys.
Everyone has the crud. So
yeah.
Our house is almost 100%.
We just have vestiges of coughing.
100.
Yeah.
All right. So there we go. So as always, I do not have my list in front of me, so it's going to be a surprise to me what my list is.
Is this a new trend?
I think it's a new trend. It's called the No Look Top 10. So I can be a surprise along with everyone else.
Oh, that game. Oh, man.
I put my list in this afternoon, so it's fairly fresh. All right, let's do this. So it is our top 10 games that are new to us that we played for the first time in 2017 that was not published in 2017. That's the official title. Or not new games of 2017.
No. Okay. And I think we'll have some honorable mentions if you don't mention the ones I didn't mention, or vice versa.
Okay.
Vice
Okay.
versus.
So the Viking shirt. This is the BGG Con 2017 shirt. It's pretty cool. They had they had a Viking theme for their con.
That's pretty cool.
Everybody was wearing, all the volunteers were wearing Viking hats and stuff like that.
Oh man.
The Viking hats. All right. So let's do this. Let's do it. Let's see what we got here. So what's your number 10?
I'm curious for our lists how much crossover we have on this. My number 10.
I clicked number 10 and nothing's coming up.
What? Fire the IT guy.
Is that right?
That is right. But the picture, where's the picture?
You don't have one.
Okay,
So talk about more about 2017 new game.
No, I will explain this. I'll pull a Sam. Let me tell you all about it before I tell you about the game.
Okay.
So, this game came out in 2004. And, yes, we just played it this year. And we actually got to play it at Dallas Games Marathon with Hector the Turtle and his sick wife full of crud. And a bunch, trying to think who else. I think it was just us, maybe a couple other people. But we just threw down a whole mess of, like, kind of quick, fun, fillery games and stuff. And this was... You ready for transition?
I am ready.
Drum roll. No thanks! I had a lot of fun with that. It was just a fun, simple, quick game. And I can see the appeal and why it's been pretty enduring since 2004. Because it's really fun. It's really easy to teach. Everybody gets into it. And it gets pretty fun very fast.
Yeah, I didn't play this one. I think I set out this one. And
Did you? You didn't play this one?
I didn't play. I set out and I was doing something with Nessa at the table.
Oh, that's right. Nessa was with us that month. Yeah.
I have not played this game.
It's really fun because you're just trying to avoid cards and get the cards you want, and it's kind of just messing with everybody's mind game. I love it. It's so much fun. Very fun game, and I look forward to playing that again sometime.
All right.
May have to get that one at some point.
Yeah, that one looked interesting. So definitely a like ultra light gateway game.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a blast.
If it's even a gateway game, it's almost feels like a mainstream game.
Yeah, it really does, and I don't know. There's just something. It's just really fun, and I don't know.
I'm concerned.
I know part of it was the group we played with.
All right, my 10 image is missing as well.
Wow. Windows 10. I blame it.
I blame.
I didn't touch it. I don't touch your stuff, man. We're about to have some technical difficulties.
All right.
I know it's Christmas and all, but
my number 10 came out in 2015. We did not get around to the party until February of this year. Parlay.
More like guidelines.
And that is Above and Below.
Nice.
I love Above and Below. I love storytelling games that have a game behind them. So this one, you're collecting adventures, going on adventures, you're building out your village, you're collecting resources, kind of a set collection-ish. You're trying to get like one of everything.
And sometimes you go above, sometimes you go below.
Correct. Sometimes you go, yes. And you build buildings above and below the... Anyway.
What?
Threw me off. But anyway, I love this game. For whatever reason, we put off getting this game. I don't know. I'm not sure why we...
Wasn't it like hard to get for a while or something, or out of print? Not out of print, but out of stock.
I don't know. I think more so it was. I heard rumors that it wasn't good for 2 players.
Oh, that could be. That's probably one of the big things that ever holds us back.
So there it is. So yeah,
but it's fun.
And that now, of course, the hotness was. And I guess it's kind of dying down a little bit now, as near and far. But
wherever you are,
that is. That is a 2017 game, so we won't talk about that.
Hey, I was gonna say, save that for another day, sir. Oh my goodness.
Above and Below, Mr. Lockett.
No, we did not get the second paragraph book for it. Ooh, say what? I didn't know about this. Why don't we have this?
We haven't played it enough.
That's true.
We haven't really worn out the first book.
We're gonna wear it out.
All right, what's your number 9?
My number 9 is a family, particularly a girl favorite in the household, and that is Sushi Go Party. This game came out in 2016, and oh my goodness. The girls enjoyed Sushi Go, kind of Sushi Go Party exploded in our house, and It was Nessa's top game. It's still up there pretty high, and oh my goodness, her favorite delight now is to set up the game and show you that she knows how to set it up herself. So she will lay it out on the table and be like, hey, would you like to play a game? And all of a sudden you walk in and there's a table and a game set up. It's hilarious. And they love this game, and it's different every time because you can pick which, goals you're trying to do and what sets you want to collect. And
yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's what I think that's the appeal, especially to Nessa, is that she can go, oh, I want to play with these and this and a little bit of these.
She loves that, and the fact that she, can read all of the stuff and knows what the goals do, and she's really proud of it. And I think that's what's so cute about it. And it's just a fun game to play. It's really easy to teach people. Anybody that's ever played any card game really can play this game. So it's really easy to teach them. And there's something about the way they designed the party and the way the board is and the scoring and everything that's just, it's really fun. It's addictive. Everybody usually wants to play again after we finish a game. So
it's a good one.
Yep.
Maybe a little too light to make my list. All right, here we go. My number 9 came out in 2012, so we're really late to that party.
Still didn't beat my 2004.
This was more of a one of my research projects. Occasionally, I take an older game and go, I heard a lot about it. Let's try it out.
Yep.
And I really enjoyed. The picture's gone again. What? I don't know what happened, but
that's really strange. I would like to know. I'm curious too. The chat's now wondering, how is Hunter going to break this list? I bet there's bets going on now. This is great. You can't break with animals.
I don't know why our pictures are missing. It's so strange.
I don't understand. Oh, you moved the file. You moved the folder.
That's what it is. All right, talk about exciting Christmas things. But then if I move mine, then yours is going to be missing.
Then mine will be gone, so don't do that.
No, I can do that. Here, I got this.
Just add it in really quickly, huh?
No, I don't think it's going to work. So, so we're going to have to do it.
Where do the sushi
While you're talking, I'll edit mine.
You're talking over me. I can't even talk. Oh, my goodness.
Anyway, because I'm done.
Multitasking. They're asking, though. The chat is asking, where do the sushi go party? That's a good question.
Where does sushi go to party? Well, not a hibachi grill.
Wow. That got dark.
All right. Keyflower is my number 9. So I've heard all about all.
What year did that come out?
That came out in 2012, and we played it for the first time in October. That's why I got my list. I have notes.
Dope.
So Keyflower, I've heard all about these key games: Keyflower, Key Cathedral, Key everything. And I thought, well, let's. What's the best one that everyone likes? And this apparently is the ones that most people like. So I grabbed this up, played it, and we greatly enjoyed it. It was it's a worker placement game where you basically have these different colored meeples, and you're going out and you're trying to buy buildings to build out your little city, and you bid by putting a certain color meeple on a tile, and then once someone puts a color meeple on that tile, it kind of sets the color for that tile, and then they can outbid you with different colors. And I like the fact that your meeples are hidden, so there's almost a memory aspect of remembering what the other players have. And you go, okay, I think she's out of yellow, so I'm going to start bidding on stuff with yellow so she can't outbid me.
That's your tactic. You wait till it's late at night and I'm tired. I can't even keep track of my own. And he's like, oh, okay. Now I know.
So I just really enjoyed this. This almost makes me want to branch out and try some of the other ones. I know a new one just came out, Keeper. Keyper.
Is it a keeper?
I don't know. That one just came out, and I've heard good things about it so far. So we'll see.
Maybe.
So this is maybe a first in a series of new old games for us.
Oh, geez. New old games.
Right, so there's number 9, Keyflower.
All right. My number 8, I feel like, was the best kept secret of 2015 because I'd never even heard of this blasted game until I think you randomly showed me some mention that Z made of it or something.
It was on my radar for a long time.
Oh, was it? Okay, but you just randomly bought it at some point or something and decided to test it out. And that's Gold West. Oh my goodness, is this game cool. If you have not tried this game, you should try it. I was pleasantly surprised by just how darn fun it was. And you're working on you've got little, what is it, campsites, I guess you'd say? Not really campsites.
Yeah.
Mining sites.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think they are campsites.
I think they are actually campsites because there's 2 different kind of sites you can build and stuff. And you're going around, so it's sort of area control, but like you want to keep everything like you have like a longest road aspect to it,
biggest
like
settlement,
biggest settlement, yeah, like stretch it out. And I really like the gameplay with that and the way you use like a almost is it Mancala really? I guess it kind of is not
similar.
It's
You pick
to
up
it.
a group and you drop, and it's kind of like
It's
that.
kind of like Five Tribes movement, but everything shifts upward as you go. It's got to go on a specific way on the track. So you're trying to, when you lay them down and you put down your little pieces, you want to try to keep in mind that, okay, eventually I'm going to want to get to here, so I need to plan on having this many pieces there, and and there's that balance between that, and at the same time, it's almost like two games in one, balancing that.
Well, yeah,
and then
you got
the
to decide
board
when you get your resources, or am I going to get them early, or
Yeah.
build up a better turn later on?
Yeah, and that's the thing again. You're balancing that because you don't want to sell yourself short and then have a really dead finish to the game.
Right.
But at the same time, you really want to get some stuff to kind
Well,
of
you
build
get
your
more
engine.
victory points the further back you put your
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean, there's so much risk to it, but there's so much reward too, and
Yep.
it's just a really fun game, and it's a slightly different theme than you see most games. I think that was kind of fun too. So check it out; it's pretty cool. 2015 Gold West.
That one barely missed my list. Spoilers.
Way to ruin.
All right, I forgot. I got to build my picture while you're up.
Man, killing me.
Good thing I have my list. Or I'll be out of luck. All right, so my number 8 is a Stefan Feld game.
What? It was really hard. I'll be completely honest. I narrowed it down because this could have easily been an almost complete top 10 of Feld, because this was the year of the Feld games for us. Because you researched and got a bunch of old games, and they're starting to do that 10th anniversary thing.
Yeah.
Where it's the 10th year anniversary and they're reprinting some of the games. So we're starting to get into Feld pretty heavily this year.
I think we probably played, I want to say 5 or 6 Feld games this year
1, 2,
that were old.
3.
I know there's at least
5. There's 5 on my list right now that I
right.
can see. That tells you, 5.
So my number 8 is one of those, and that is Notre Dame. So this one I was actually considering buying it on the secondhand market because I really wanted it because I heard good things. Because this I think is Z's favorite Feld game, and that's saying something because he's
Like
kind
Feld.
of meh on Feld.
Shame on him.
So I was looking for it, and then I heard I was at BGG Con last year, and Ravensburger was showing these off, and they said they were going to come out.
That's cool.
And I ordered them and got them, and they finally came out. So technically, this is a 2017 game, but any game that's like a straight reprint, basically, we're counting it as the original, right?
Oh, were you?
Yep, I was. So this really came out in 2007, and the 10th anniversary edition came out this year, 2017.
That's actually one of the reasons I decided not to put it on the list, was because I think I didn't.
So anyway, in Notre Dame, this is one of the, as in most of the Feld games, it has it's punitive. Basically, there's diseases you're trying to avoid. But what I like about it is you have a little carriage that you're driving around the city, and you're kicking up benefits and stuff like that.
And diseases.
And diseases. And it's a balance between, this game's really a struggle between how much protection am I going to have against the diseases. So basically, there's ways to build up like resistance and medical and things like that, versus actually playing the game. Because doing that
is distracting you.
Saves you from getting negative points, but it doesn't really give you points, right? So you really kind of balance between, okay, how much can I get away with not doing over here to be able to actually play the game and build up my engine to win the game, right? So that is my number 8. Awesome Stefan Feld game, Notre Dame.
Ooh, Tommy's getting 2 of them. Nice.
We played.
That's right. Collect all the Felds.
We played in June.
Oh, you put the months down. That's interesting. I just put the years that they came out.
Yep. Played it in June of this year.
Good
first time.
Stuffs. Good
all right.
Stuffs.
I'm going to do your 7, then I'll put my pictures.
That's funny. All right. My number 7 came out in 2011. Good year. That was the year Nessa was born. We obviously did not play that in 2011. We played it this year. And it is called Dungeon Pets. And it's funny because the cutesy, goofy art kind of belies a pretty darn heavy game. It's is it worker placement all of a sudden. Yeah, I was gonna say it's worker placement, and you're trying to.
That's the reason I got it.
Yeah, raise and it's a great worker placement. And you're raising up little monster pets, and they all have different quirks and things, and you're trying to take care of them, keep their cage clean, feed them, all this stuff, and at the same time, you also need to try to sell them to the best fitted, best suited customer for the best victory points, of course. So there's that balance of trying to raise the right pets at the right time and not overfill your cages so you can keep a good cycle going. Because if you have, you sell all of them at once, then you're starting over from scratch. You're not really going to get any income the next turn. So you're really trying to keep track of when you do what and keep a nice turnover going for that game. Really cool game. Goofy theme that you don't see ever either. Right. Another one of those. And
outside of video games.
Yeah, that's so true. That's a very video game sort of theme, and it transferred well onto a board game. It's really fun. So if you haven't played it, it's got a little weight to it, but totally worth it.
Yeah, I was actually shocked how heavy it was.
Yeah, there's a lot to it. It took a little while to pick it up. A lot of little details that you just don't think about, and a lot of actions through each turn.
Yep.
But it's fun. I mean, it's not like it's a brain burner in that regard. It's just a lot to learn.
But once you learn it and get the flow of the game, it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
All right. Good one. Didn't make my list. I think you like that one better than I do.
Apparently.
So my number 7 is a fan favorite, because we hear about this game all the time on our channel. And that is a Clank. Clankety Clank.
That came out in 2016?
2016. We played it for the first time in March.
Interesting.
At FallsCon, maybe? We played at FallsCon?
I don't recall that. But
anyway,
maybe.
Clank. Clank is an awesome game. There's the new Clank in Space that just came out, but this is the original version. Basically, it's a dungeon exploring game, kind of. You go down into a little dungeon, you're collecting artifacts, all the while a dragon's getting more and more angry at you and slowly killing you, and you try to rush out and get out before you get knocked unconscious. and then whoever gets out first triggers the end game, and where it gets more and more and more deadly as people scramble to try to get out, and then you score. If you get out of the dungeon, you score your points, and the most points win. So it's just a little light deck builder game. I like the deck building aspect of it.
I don't know if it's light.
It's a pretty light game.
There's quite a bit. Nah, your definition of light's a little off.
It's a pretty light game.
It's medium.
No, it's light to medium.
To a heavy gamer. But yeah, this is a fun favorite of ours. We really like to whoop up the role play and stuff because, oh, hey, look, I got quiet boots this time, or
right,
or oh, I've got my arm, just stupid crap. We do stupid things when we play.
Yeah, it's interesting. You can build your deck. I mean, there's many different ways you can build your deck. You can really build your deck for speed, like to really be able to move all over the dungeon.
But you're so noisy.
But you're so loud, so you're giving up. You're gaining movement, but you're giving up all those cubes you on the bag that cause you damage.
You just run in and grab the first treasure you find and run out because you have armor just flying everywhere. I guess it sounds cartoonish. It's hysterical. It's just awesome.
And the deck building is interesting because it's pretty easy to clog up your deck with a bunch of stuff. You get a lot of things you don't need. Like if you get a bunch of swords and there's nothing to fight, you're just killing the little goblin over and over again. It's
pretty awesome.
I like it. It's just a fun little game. It's not too thinky. I mean, you're really not burning your brain trying to play the game. It's just a nice midweight game. Are you happy?
Yeah. It cracks me up too because really the most difficult decision is when should I turn around?
Yeah,
should I turn around
it's
now?
Pressure. I mean,
it's totally pressure.
The game overall is a press your luck game, right?
So guess who presses his luck? A little. Well, no, you haven't been really burned by this game yet.
No, I haven't. I still go for the higher point. I usually beeline for one of the high value artifacts. Forget about the market. Who needs the market?
He's down in the bowels of the earth digging for all the expensive stuff. It's hilarious.
Then I book out of there. Maybe grab one of those monkey
I try
things.
to kick a few cans over on my way out to rouse the dragon and make him a little angry at you while you're trying to scramble out. It's great.
All right. What's your number 6?
My number 6 is a 2015 game, and we actually just played it again recently. And I was reminded of how awesome and fun this game is, and that is Grand Austria Hotel. This is a really fun. I like the theme again. This seems like this year was a try out games with interesting themes on my list, because you're trying to get rooms ready and fill it with guests, and all of your guests have, you know, specific things they want. So you've got cake and coffee and what is it, wine and strudel, wasn't it strudel?
Yes.
And they're all just colored cubes, whatever. If I was going to bling out a game, though, that would be hilarious to bling out. So you have little strudels and stuff. That'd be amazing. But anyway, so you've got this little game, and you're trying to do this. And you also have, the rooms are color-coded also. So if you get a certain zone that's a certain color and fill that up, you get points for completing that. And you also get victory points if you beat the other person to finishing certain amounts, and or like finish a row first and things like that. And there's specific like you hire staff members and they give you certain benefits. Maybe they cheapen the cost of purchasing the stuff for the customers or whatever. It's a really interesting game. I really like the balance, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think this is another one you like better than me. I enjoy it quite a bit, but I don't know. It kind of falls in that weird no man's land for me of it's just heavy enough to be almost a heavy game, but not really a heavy game, but it's not a really super light game. It kind of falls in a nebulous area for me where I go, ooh, I like that because it's really heavy, or I like it because it's smooth and easy. It's kind of neither of those, so it's just kind of...
it's not a super smooth game, and it's... Yeah, you're right.
It kind of falls in a weird middle ground.
I think because of its unique theme, I think that's what kind of snags me for it. So, but it's pretty fun. I enjoy it.
What you buying tonight, Dean? All right, my number 6 falls definitely over in the heavy category, because it's the heaviest game we've ever played.
That didn't come out this year? Oh, wow.
No,
I didn't realize
Arkwright came out in 2014. Ooh, I just pulled my own list. Arkwright!
Way to go!
Arkwright, 2014. We played it for the first time just last month. And it is heavy game. It is a pretty heavy game. There is a lot going on in this. We jump straight into, there's like a easy mode, and then the heavy mode, regular big full using everything mode. And we jumped right into that. We played that, and we actually, what was interesting, it was a long time to teach. Yeah. But once we played a couple rounds, it was really smooth. It's really intuitive how it works.
It is. It's actually, and it's oddly addictive. I hate to love this game. Yeah, because it is dry, in my opinion. The theme, I feel very much like I'm cube pushing, but yet it's addictive because I'm like, I must build the perfect engine.
Yeah,
it just becomes like this obsession, and you want to make your little factories go, and it's ridiculous. I don't know why I like that game. I should not like that game.
Yeah, that game, it is spreadsheet the game. It is a lot. It is logistics, super logistics. It's keeping track of, basically you're creating these buildings, you're basically putting workers in the building, you're cranking out goods, but the buildings degrade, the workers get more and more expensive, you bid for workers, there's a supply and demand on the workers, it's like economics 101 put into a board game.
No, that's like 201. That's Econ 201, man. That took it up a notch. So yeah, it's not like you look at that game and go, "Oh, it's so pretty. That's why you like it." I
always tell Rebecca that I like logistics.
You do, but why did I like it?
And this game is, I don't know. It makes you use your brain. It really does. It does make the gears start going when you're playing this game.
Just like that too.
Because even though you got I built a great engine, you got to think about it. In this game, it takes over.
It has this ebb and flow,
it's
right?
Over a span of I want to say 20 years.
Yeah, it's something crazy like that.
And as new technologies come in, your stuff starts degrading, and your machines come less efficient, and you have to continually upgrade your stuff, or you'll fall behind.
Yeah, and then the child labor laws kick in, and you have to fire everybody. No, just kidding. But yeah, it's pretty.
I really enjoyed it. I just could not imagine setting. I mean, I taught her And she's more patient with me. I couldn't imagine sitting down and teaching this game to just...
I'm just glad you're patient with me, because I'm sure there were a few times I kind of was like drooling as I was listening to the rules.
This game is probably, I want to say, the way I like to teach, I think it's a disservice to teach someone not everything. Some people will teach, oh, this is what you need to do to get started, let's go. I'm more of a teach you how the whole game works. Because so midway through the end of the game, you're like, well, what is this? How does this work? And it hasn't been explained. So it was almost, I would say it's 45 minutes to an hour to teach this game.
Oh, yeah.
Before we played. And then we played, it was another 3 hours on top of that. So,
but I think, like you said, it was mostly those first couple turns as we're figuring out, okay, so that's how that works. And then after that, it really did click a lot more quickly. Right. So I think our next play is going to be like half the time.
Yeah, it was just, I don't know, I really enjoyed it. It really, I like games that make me think. And, this one is there's no real surprises. There's no this happened. You have to react to it.
Yeah, there's no reacting.
It's more of looking what other players doing, what they're building and reacting to that, so that we're not competing for the same things. And then looking at the supply of workers, how many workers are you going to have available, and reacting to that. If there's lots of cheap workers, and you want to build the plants to be able to utilize that. But if there's not many workers, then you definitely don't want to expand.
You can see the trends coming. And so you do have some reaction time, which I like about that. It's not such a tight game that you're just bam. Oh gosh, what do I do? Yeah.
Right.
So
anyway, I've talked enough about this game. Super heavy game. If you like economic games and engine building, this is the game for you.
Yep. Very good.
But it is heavy.
Yes. Physically and
our heaviest
mentally.
Game that we've played ever.
That's true, it is. Although everyone's dying to bring you into the world of 18xx now.
I know. It'll happen someday.
It will. All right, so we're to my number 5. This game came out in 2014, and we do not yet have the expansion peeps for it, but I think if we get a few more plays, it might be worthy of buying this, because I really enjoyed Imperial Settlers, and the art's cute, although we argue about the tomatoes, apples, whatever. I think I call them tomatoes.
Tomatoes.
They're tomatoes. I don't care.
Tomato.
They're tomatoes. Yeah, exactly. Tomato. Very interesting game. I really like the balance. I think most of you, at least in the chat, have talked about this at some point and have played this. But if you haven't, it's one of those I really enjoy, because you build buildings. You're building an engine. And you've got two sides. You've got your buildings that... Okay, I know there are buildings that could be destroyed. And the other ones are like I'm trying to remember why they were safe. It's been a while since I played it, but remember there's two sides to it. You remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to... I'm horrible at explaining games when I'm not super familiar with them.
There's ways to protect your buildings, and I don't think they're ever safe unless you put enough stuff on it to block, but... there's
certain types that are safe.
There's base buildings that you draft, and then there's your nationality buildings, or racial buildings, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah. And I like the fact that it's asymmetrical, so each race has a different starting stuff, and they kind of tend towards better abilities in a certain direction. And
the resources are different. Too.
Yeah, that's what I mean, starting resources too. And I just like the way that the resources trade in and out, and you trade those for goods, and to be able to build the buildings. The attack portion of it, I kind of could give it a take, but it's kind of amusing. We kind of got into a little mini duke it out battle last time and worked on protecting our buildings, and sometimes in games where you're actually trying to build up stuff, we don't enjoy destroying things that you've built.
Yeah, but sometimes it's beneficial. You may need that foundation, right?
Exactly, and it's so much fun. It's so much fun. Faction buildings, thank you. That's what it was. Those are the ones. So, the faction buildings and stuff. So it was fun. We actually enjoyed being, antagonizing each other and blowing up minor buildings and stuff, and some of the bigger ones, but it's really a neat game. And clearly those are tomatoes. I don't care what anybody in the chat says. So, Tommy says they're clearly apples. My goodness.
All right. My number 5, you know what it is. It's time for another Feld.
Feld. Fun with Feld.
And that is the Macau.
Cool.
I love me some Macau. We played this for the first time in March of this year at Dallas Games Marathon. This game came out in 2009, and I loved it so much I Bought
Oh
it,
my
bought it on the
gosh.
secondhand market, and we played it
So glad you got that
2
game.
or 3 times since then.
Super
Really,
good.
really enjoyed this one. This is one of my top Feld games.
Yep.
I just love it. There's so many I can go on and on about it, but the main thing I like about it is how the action selection works. Basically, when you roll dice and you take those dice, they're all different colors and they are a different kind of a different color of action. And so if you roll a 5 green, you can take the 5 green. You're gonna get 5 action points effectively, but you're gonna get it 5 turns in the future. Yeah. So if you take a lower number, you're going to get less actions, but you're going to get them quicker. So it's a balance between, do I want the actions now? Do I want the actions later? Do I want to build up a big turn later? Do it something I need to do right now? And then at the same time, to do certain things, you're going to need the right combinations of cubes, action cubes, to happen on the same turn. For example, if you want to buy a certain building, maybe you need 2 reds and a green cube. And so you're going to need 2 reds and a green cube to go off on the same turn. So you may want to take the lower numbers sometimes
to try
to get the right combination of cubes you want.
Oh, I love the way that mechanism works.
So
it's so much fun.
It's just really cool how that works. And then there's all this other delivering goods and things going on as well. But that's kind of that's the driving mechanism. Seems like a lot of his games have a central mechanism like that drives the game, and that's what drives Macau, and I really enjoy it.
Did we have this conversation with them, or was it just us when we talked about where Macau was? And
Macau is in Portugal.
We had...
But there's a Portuguese settlement that was established in China that's also called Macau.
Yeah.
There's some weirdness like that.
It was very bizarre, and we got into an argument whether or not how you'd pronounce it and stuff, too, because it had the little thingy on the C, but apparently it is Macau. We looked all this up, because we could not... For the life of us, it was driving us crazy, so we looked all that up. That was fun.
Yeah, it's in Portugal.
Yeah.
It's a region in Portugal.
Yep. And I like the Granny Smith tomatoes comment Kabuki left. Granny Smith tomatoes.
Granny Smith tomatoes.
They look exactly...
Do we need to pull that game out and show you the
It's possible. It's possible. I think that's probably the most apt description of those little pieces I've seen, though. Granny Smith tomatoes.
All right.
It's good stuff.
What's your number? What are we on? 4s? Man, we're cruising along tonight.
Vroom, baby. All right. This is also a 2014 game for me, for us, in general. It came out in 2014. Another fun, but not Feld. Fun. This is my other buddy, Rosenberg. I think. Is this Rosenberg?
Uwe?
Our buddy Uwe with Fields of Arle. It's so pretty. This is a pretty game. It's a fun game. You've got cows. You've got animals. You've got farms. And I just love the engine building with this and planting this and that, and I don't know. I really love the tile placement and all that stuff. It's just a pretty fun game.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know why this game just hasn't.
I think we need to play it again for you.
It hasn't really. I have no urge to play it again.
What?
I mean, I'll play it again. I enjoy it. I played it and I enjoyed it, but there is Le Havre and Caverna.
Oh, that's right.
You and Feast for Odin, and what else am I forgetting of his that I'd played before that? I guess those mainly. But anyway, so we haven't played I think we've only played this one time.
Yes.
And
I want to play it again.
I like some of the mechanisms in it. I liked how you have to kind of clear the land to be able to utilize it and stuff. But I don't know. It just really didn't really sing to me.
I think part of it too is we played one or two other farm games around the same time and a bunch of other new stuff, and I think it sort of got lost in the shuffle.
May have
when we played it. I think we need to play it again soon.
Oh,
because it's Uwe and it's awesome. End of story.
Dan says it's more about the trading post in China. But I think it says on the box.
Well, that makes perfect sense because of the ships and everything.
I think it says on the box.
It's behind you.
I think it says in the box, you're a Portuguese something or other.
Well, yeah, in China. Hello.
Says the players take the roles of influential Portuguese adventurers who risked it all in the 17th century travel in Macau, the trading center in the Far East.
Oh, burn!
There you go.
Live. Look at that.
I was burned live.
That's sounds much
There you
worse.
go. That answers the question, the Macau question once for all. It's right there in the intro stuff. I hardly
The
ever
first sentence.
read. I hardly
people.
ever leave. All right, I didn't.
Well played, Dan. Well played.
All right, make fun of me more so I can get my picture real quick.
Way to go, Hunter, in your geography fail. But you mentioned them both when we were looking them up because we talked about the fact that it was Portuguese and it was in Portugal and then eventually it was over in China. And it's funny that it just seems so... It almost sounds arbitrary, right? I'm gonna... Macau, right there.
No, but I'm saying...
So,
no, I think it's more less arbitrary and more pompous that they name their trading post after their own area in their own country.
could have named it Joe Bobville or whoever did it, But yeah, actually, I think we had this conversation too because Dan just mentioned about that the Macau and Portugal's land.
We looked that
This
up
is the
too.
first time we looked that up. We're like, yeah,
It's in
what
the middle of the
heck?
country.
What is the damage with this game? What did they do?
All right, I got my
just-
picture. I'm set. My number 4 is Colosseum.
See now, did that come out?
The original Colosseum came out in 2007.
Yeah, but the remake
The remake came out this year.
this year.
Yes.
That's why I didn't.
Yeah, it's the same though. It's the
Did
same.
we play the old one or the new one?
I think we played both. I think at FallsCon we played the original one, and then
Where's Austin? I wish Austin was on that. I'd ask him. He'd know. He played it with us.
I said
Both times,
I
I think.
included reprints that were basically carbon copies of the original game.
See, and I didn't, and I wasn't sure about Coliseum. That's why I did not include it because I love Coliseum. That game, we need to own that game.
Yes, we do need to own that game, and the reason we don't own it is it's three players only. But supposedly, I found online a very good 2-player variant. So
What just happened?
So we'll see how that works. Because the game, a good chunk of this game is auctioning and trading, and auctioning and trading really doesn't work.
It's horrible with 2 players.
Doesn't
yeah.
work well 2-player. But
But-
apparently, there's a way to trick it up with some kind of weird system to make it interesting 2 players. But anyway,
Yeah.
we've only played this game with four or more players. I don't know. I think we've only played it. I don't think we ever played it 3.
Yeah, that's true. We've always played it 4, and it is a blast. I love this game.
But I like the trading aspect. It has that open trading like Catan, where whoever the active player is, you can trade with them. You can say, hey, I'll give you 2 lions for a plant or whatever you want to do. Just fully open trading. And then there's an auction phase where it's a kind of a round the table auction. Basically, the first person goes pass or bid. Next person can raise the bid or pass, and it goes around and around and around and around until someone gets a group of tiles, and it goes until everyone gets a group of tiles, and then you have
That part's almost convoluted at first when you're learning how
yeah
it goes.
performances you're trying to put on each round. At the end of each round, you're going to put on a show, and basically you have to purchase the show, basically purchase the right to put on the show, and then you need all the you're trying to get as many of the items you need for the show.
Yeah.
And each item you don't have is a minus. So basically, if you get perfect, you get everything you need. You get the full points. But then every item you're missing escalates. If you're missing one, it's a minor minus, and then it grows from there. Each one that you're missing to the point where it's not even worth putting it on if you have not enough stuff.
Don't forget your potted plants, folks. Oh my gosh, yes, there are potted plants as a requirement from some of the shows, which I'm like, in the Coliseum?
Yeah. Well, you got the set decorations is basically what it's supposed to be.
Oh my goodness, that's
Like-
like the cacti in
Colt Express.
Colt Express. That's what it is. Yeah, I was like, oh.
And it has a really
Colt Express.
interesting scoring way you win the game is whatever your best show is your final score. So that's it. So if you're second to last show is your best show, that's
Yeah.
your score.
And I love the emperor and the senators that are marching around the track
Yeah, you're trying to get
on the
them in-
outside. You're trying to get them inside your little Coliseum, and it's so fun to troll other players with that. You're like, oh, that's almost perfect. Oh, he's gonna move right on past.
Yeah,
Sorry
or
about
you have your whole thing set up. You're like, oh yes, this is perfect, and then every one of them leave.
All my points.
Yeah, I
it's-
really enjoyed this game. I'm kind of curious how the 2-player version will work. But anyway, that's
Yeah.
my number 4.
Super fun.
The brand shiny new version came out this year, but the original Coliseum from Days of Wonder, I believe, came out in 2007.
And the new one is, they did a good job on the new one. I know that was a worrisome thing. I know, like, the Dice Tower was talking about it. They're like, I don't know what to think. They changed the artwork, blah, blah. It's awesome.
All right, there is that.
My number 3 is our first crossover. Maybe our only cross. Well, I suspect there's one more crossover. But
I knew this would be on your list.
Yeah, you knew, because this is probably going to be very high up on my top 100.
Spoilers!
Hey, I'm just saying. Stay tuned, people. That's coming up soon. But yeah, Feld. My buddy Feld. Macau. In the obscure little place in China.
The Far East.
The Far East.
Don't mess it up again. Just say Far East.
Get him, Dan. Get him. Yeah, this. Oh my gosh, everything he said. What did you say last time? Everything in a bag of chips. I love it. I just love the dice mechanism in this game. I love the way they did that. It was really cool.
Yeah.
I mean the clock thingy.
The clock. Yeah.
I call it dice.
Action selection.
Yes, action selection. Very cool. Very fun game. Love it. I'm not gonna beat this thing to death. I want you guys to play it. That's what I want. So.
Oh, we're moving right on, huh?
Well, yeah, because we already talked about it a lot. I don't want to be like, hey, blah, 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 everything again.
Macau is in Portugal, by the way.
Yes.
All right, my number 3.
Thanks for
Number 3. We played this for the first time in March at Falls Con, but it came out last year, 2016.
Oh, I thought it was 2017.
And that is Star Trek Ascendancy.
Good pick.
It was. I don't think it was in wide release until 2017, but it was definitely out in 2016.
Okay. All right. So then I'll let it slide.
All right.
Excellent pick.
Star Trek Ascendancy. It is
Star Trek in a box.
Epic. No, it's not Star Trek. I wouldn't say this is Star Trek in a box.
Star Trek Exploration in a box, though. It's not the detailed.
I think it pulls back from Star Trek and gives you a more general overview. I think this is like kind of Rebellion's equivalent to Star Trek. It's kind of high level, but Rebellion has characters. This one doesn't have characters. But anyway, in this game, you are playing the Federation, the Klingons, and the Romulans, and you're duking it out over territory in space. So basically, you start out in your one little home world, and you fan out, and eventually you're going to connect up with the other players and encounter them. And you're trying to take over planets through various means to gain the resources of that planet and continually build your empire and getting enough resources to get the victory points you need to win the game. Each different faction kind of gets different victory points different ways. Like Federation gets lots of victory points through exploring. Klingons gets lots of victory points through destroying people. And Romulans, they get victory points for being Romulans. And there's also general ways to get victory points that aren't specialized to each one. But it's just a really cool game. The Federation are the nice people. They kind of talk people into joining them. They subjugate planets through negotiation, whereas Klingons they land and conquer.
They just go and beat everybody up and.
I just love this game. It's fun.
It is fun.
I'm looking forward to playing with the Cardassians and the
Kardashians.
The Kardashians and the Ferengi.
Oh,
Ferengi,
yes.
I'm especially looking for playing the Ferengi.
It's going to be interesting, and I love it's a pulled back view of the Star Trek universe. It's not like a zoomed in.
Yeah, it's definitely more the space battles and
the space exploration, because the way I love this unique the warp I guess
zones.
You say the warp zones and stuff, because until they're attached between two planets, they're fluid, so you can kind of shift the perception of the universe, so to speak, right? Because you're exploring still, and I love that.
Yeah, when you explore,
really neat.
Yeah, that's a good point. When you explore, you go out and you basically say, I'm going to go out that way.
Second star to the right.
You randomize how far your warp zone is. It could be like a really short one or a really long one. Then you stick a random planet at the end of it. And like she says, you can swing it around, and when you go again, you get another warp zone. You might want to connect it up over here, but then you can actually angle it over here and connect up to somewhere else. You have some control over how the planets are going to connect up, right?
It's just fun.
Anyway, that's my number 3.
Star Trek nerdy goodness. A Q expansion. Now that would be awesome.
You just take all the warp zones out and then
mix
shuffle the planets up and then can reconnect them.
Mix and match the ships in different places. That's
funny.
Glorious.
I just made a Q expansion. Look at that.
Someone make this.
I knew this was
Jawas.
I knew this.
I have to block you, Julio.
I knew this would be on your list.
Of course it's going to be on my list. Okay. I think the winner for the oldest game goes to this 1996 classic,
Beats
compatibility.
all mine.
It does. And it is greatness.
I think it came out before then. This is just the 96 version.
That's true. I think it did come out before that. This is the 96 version, so that's what I'm counting. It's old enough. I figured it qualified, right? This was not a new version. And thank you to our awesome viewers, Lewis and wife, that sent it to us. It was very fun. Awesome game. And we first got to play it randomly just with Z, and that was so much fun. And we had a blast playing this game. And then we got to play it with you guys on the internet, which was that was actually really fun. And I hope to do something like that again. I think we need to mix up maybe the themes and play compatibility again.
Well, I still want to do the board game.
You did board games.
Oh, I did do board games.
Yes, you did.
We'll do it again.
We need to do like a seasonal theme or something.
Oh, that's true.
You know,
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
you're right. I did do board games. That was funny.
And you forget every time.
Forget.
Oh no, he's going senile, guys.
I'm old.
Oh man, replay this video when he forgets. Okay. Yeah, no, it's a couples game. And you're supposed to see if you're truly compatible. And so you've got this whole mess of random pictures and words on cards. And that's the technical term, whole mess. It's like 30 of them, though. And then you'll get a theme card, and it'll be like happiness. And then you pick your top 5 cards that you think of happiness. And then you got to see, okay, are we compatible? Did Hunter pick the same? And you have them ranked, so we could have maybe the same picture, but like I might have ranked it third and he had it first or something. So we'll get some points for that. If we ranked the same card in the same place, then you get more points. Right. And in fact, if you haven't played that, you should go back and find our online play, because you can play it and find out if you're more compatible with Hunter or me. And we did some cheesy stuff, and it's inevitably we start snickering and stuff because we end up finding something that's off the wall, just stupid funny about it, and we're
like one time there was a running joke with the little baby was like every one of my picks.
Oh my gosh, he picked that stupid baby and everything. Well, he had kind of a creepy look on his face, but Hunter managed to find a reason to put him in everything. It was amazing. And yeah, so super fun game. It's just silly kind of party couples type game. Very awesome.
Yep. That's a good one. I should have been doing my picture.
Slacktastic.
So tell them how I was compatible with Z and not you.
That's true. That's true. Hunter and Z are the most compatible.
Oh man, that was hilarious.
Yeah, that was special. It was like, all right.
We noticed about 2 rounds of the game that we were putting.
You guys were like scoring super high with each other,
yes.
and not. Yeah, that was pretty funny.
All right, I'm good to go. Let's do this.
Are you now?
My number 2 was my Christmas present last year, but I did not play it until January. That is Great Western Trail. You know, this had to be on the list. Well, unless you thought I didn't play it. I played it last year, but I did not play it last year. Played it January 7th, the first time I played it, so I played it this year. This is an awesome game. You start with some crappy cows, you get some awesome cows, and that's how you win. Great Western Trail. So I'm going to tell a story about Great Western Trail. So I was at BGG Con last year, 2016, and this is pretty much when it got released, was at BGG Con. So there was Terraforming Mars and Great Western Trail, and I was I working in booth?
Sorry, I shouldn't look at the chat. Your story's hilarious, by the way.
So anyway, I was going in. I walked in the morning that I wasn't working, actually working in the con. I was walking in the morning of the opening of the exhibitor hall, and I walked by the Stronghold booth, and Bonacker was there, and Great Western Trail and Terraforming Mars were both released at the same time. And Jason Levine was there helping Bonacore. He was just selling Great Western Trail like it was hilarious. Like it was a black market game or something. And I told Bonacore, I said, "Hey, no, I'll come back by here in a little bit, and I'll grab both of those." And I wandered off and was looking through, because there was a line out the door.
Oh my gosh!
To get for the Stronghold, there was actually a Stronghold booth line, and then there was the main line of the thing.
That's crazy.
So I basically said, I told Bonacore, I waved to him and said hi to Jason. I said, I'll be back. I'll go do a lap and come back, and I'll pick up both of those. I came back. It wasn't even a half hour later, and they were both completely sold out. He sold out Terraforming Mars and Great Western Trail in under 30 minutes, and he had hundreds of copies of them.
Yeah, that's nuts. And they're getting awards out the ears. I mean, you can tell.
So I immediately went to Cool Stuff Inc. and pre-ordered both of them, and we got them in time for Christmas, luckily. But we didn't play. We played Terraforming Mars during Christmas, but we did not play Great Western Trail until after Christmas. So that's why I made the list. One of my all-time favorite games. Yep. I love this game. It's just...
He loves cows.
It's so smooth. It's just heavy enough. I mean, it doesn't have that Grand Austria curse I was talking about earlier, that it falls in that nebulous zone. This one's just a smooth game. The right weight. It has many different aspects of things I like in various games. It kind of took pieces of various games and pulled it into this one game of the deck building and then upgrading the powers and many paths to victory and a little tiny bit of take that. I like a little bit of take that in the game. I don't like tons of it, but I like a little bit of it. That way you can slow down a leader if you need to. It's a really awesome game. Stop looking at the chat.
No, I'm laughing about Great Western Trail this time. It's just funny because we like to put the tiles down in a prominent place that have the tax on it. So we're like, hey.
You have to pay.
And Hunter would specifically, on purpose, make sure he was dead broke. So he's like, oh, sorry, it can't pay you. And we're like, I don't like you.
Or if I owe you 2 and I can go through hazards and pay 2, I'd go through the hazards.
Yes, he would deliberately go through them and be like, oh, I can't pay you.
Or I'd pay 3 to go through the hazards so I don't pay you 2.
Just so I don't get any money. It was like, really? Really? Yeah. So...
This is all. I can't say any more about this game. I've harped on it since January, so I don't think I need to harp on it more. It's one of my favorite games.
No, it's awesome. Awesome game.
All right, what's your number 2?
We had fun play with that at DGM too.
We did.
No, my number 1 is our second crossover.
Oh, Ascendancy.
Nope.
No. Oh, you thought that was last year?
I thought it was a 2017.
Coliseum. No, you didn't do that.
Dude, seriously?
Great Western Trail.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Yes. Great Western Trail.
Let's see if the image changes. Oh,
it doesn't change.
It goes to number 1 though. Go ahead. Tell us about some crappy cows.
No, that's your stick. I like the awesome cows. The only thing I find weird about the game is that you're collecting cows, but you're collecting one of a rainbow variety of cows, and I'm like, that's the only thing I don't find exactly thematic. Everything else is very much thematic, but I mean, I see why they do it that way. It's pretty awesome, and the game is really smooth. We had another really fun play of it at Dallas Games Marathon. That's
we got annihilated at Dallas Games
Marathon. We did get annihilated, man. We had I can't remember his name all of a sudden, but he was
Brian?
cattle rustler. We didn't even know
he was at another level.
We were all here, and he's taking cows from us and rebranding them. I mean, it was nuts. But yeah, it's really fun because you're working on trying to move the engine down and getting all these benefits from doing that, and you're focusing on money is so tight in that game. You're trying to get your engineers and your cowboys to make the cattle cheaper and this and that, and those are so expensive, and oh my goodness, you get rid of those people to put them in the slots to get the train bonuses as you're going through, and you're collecting all these cards and trying to sell at the right time to maximize the amount and this and that and avoid people's taxes. Tax evader. So, it's just... Oh
that's a strategy to be out of money when you're going through.
Yes, we know. Thank you. Someone wrote the book on that. Yes, the tax dodger over here, dodgy fellow. Watch those CPAs, man. No, it was pretty awesome. Very fun game. Every time we play it, we have a really good time. So, there you go.
All right. Any more to say? I'm shocked the number 1's not on your list. You must have missed it somehow.
Well, I told you I only did the first few months, and I had so many on my list. No! I thought that was this year.
My number 1 is Scythe!
No, that's not a 2007.
2016.
Oh, it was on the...
2016. Wow. It was kickstarted in 2016.
Yeah, I didn't probably go far enough with that. That's why.
Skithy is my number 1. It came out last year. We played it for the first time in March. We played it several times since then. I love Skithy. It is so amazing.
I hate it. I'm totally kidding. Awesome game.
Scythe, my number one. Oh, I could go on and on about this game. I like it. It has kind of transition from Great Western Trail. It has that same mechanism where as you upgrade certain things, as you take things off your board, you get more powerful. Your actions get better and better as time goes by. It's pseudo worker placement. You actually put your workers out in different areas, and you gain resources from that area when you use the resource gathering action. You can interact with other players by attacking them. There's a race to the center of the board to collect a factory card that gives you a superpower. Controlling the factory at the end of the game gives you bonuses. There's all kinds of different ways to get bonuses in the game. Victory points, you can do it through resources and popularity and completing objectives and all sorts of things. Breathe. And it has, one of my favorite things is the cards. So there's encounters scattered throughout the board, and if you move your leader over to an encounter, you get an encounter card, and they are hilarious. Something happens, and it's like something's going on, and you have to decide what you're going to do. Are you going to do something nice, something mean, or whatever? If you do something nice, you get a benefit, maybe gain some popularity. If you do something mean, you get more benefit, but you lose popularity, and they're usually funny, hilarious situations.
Oh my gosh, the artwork looks so beautiful too, and so tame. And then you read the scenario below it, right? And it's like, you see a bear wandering through the woods. Do you shoot it and get its, fur and meat and take it for your own? Do you make it angry and,
chase it into town?
Yeah, chase it into a town. Just the crazy, you're like, did I just read that? It's after looking at the serious looking game, to get those scenarios is just hysterical. I love them. So.
There you go.
Scythe is great. We had, was it FallsCon? We played the monster game.
Yes, FallsCon. We played 7 players.
Yeah, that was a beast of a game. And, every time we've played, even the 2-player, you can kind of avoid each other for a while, but eventually you usually end up doing some kind of encounter.
Well, usually around the factory, usually.
Because you want to get that victory point. That's a big deal. So.
Yep.
There you have it. So
that's it. Those are our 2017 new old games.
Old new games.
Old new games? No.
New old games?
New old games.
Somewhere in the middle?
Next week will be our official 2017 games of the year that we've played so far. We do one at the end of the year, covering what we've obviously played this year of those. And then we usually do one 6 months later, do our, quote, definitive list. Because there's a lot of 2017 games that we haven't played yet.
And I was going to say, I was looking, I actually kind of chilled out on putting 2016 games on my list because I was like, I feel like that's almost cheaty because it's just that year before. But we were like a year behind on playing because we don't play the new hotness. I mean, we're a little...
We're usually more three. Like my top 3, just for example, are all 2016 games. Mm-hmm. We played them in January and March.
Yeah.
So we're usually a few months behind the curve.
Yep.
On those.
Some of my honorable mentions that we played that I really enjoyed. These, let's see. These from 2016, Santorini. Really like that. Ice Cool. Oh my gosh.
Santorini's technically this year.
Is it? On BGG it says 2016.
It's technically this year. I don't think it was actually released in 2017.
Nonsense. Well, another good reason I didn't put it.
But anyway.
Vast. I liked Vast. Vast cracked me up. I love the unique design of that game where, you're playing the dragon, you're playing the knight, you're playing the cave, and you all have completely different objectives you're doing. They're completely asymmetrical. I found that highly amusing. Prodigal's Club, that was a 2015 game. We played that once, and that was a riot. That game cracks me up. The theme, again, a unique theme. 2016 games, Burke's Gambit, Pandemic Iberia, and When I Dream. Those were all fun games. I really enjoyed those. So...
Alright, some of the ones that didn't make my list. Several failed games. Rum and Pirates.
Oh, yes.
Rialto.
Yep.
What else?
There was Amerigo. We played it last year. But I wasn't sure if it was a reprinted one or not, so I did not include it. You're the Dragon. was another Feld game.
Exodus, Proxima Centauri, Tricarion.
That's true. Ooh.
Twa.
Yeah. Tales of Arabian Nights we played. Say Anything Family Edition. That's a family, like, monster favorite right now.
I'm shocked that King Domino didn't make
Luna.
the list.
It was not on my list. You know what? We played it late enough in the year. I probably didn't even get to it because I'm not kidding. I have a list of like 20 games already, and I was like halfway through the year, and I thought, I'm gonna have even more narrowing down to do at this point. And I was like, they're all good, solid games. I'm gonna go with it. So there you go.
All right, folks, there it is. I didn't see. I saw mostly smack talk. I don't know if I saw too many questions. No, Gnomes didn't quite make the list.
Oh, Gnomes is Avendor, but I played that this year, so I can't count it.
There you go, it counts.
But I just played that. Ooh.
Yeah, you just played it last weekend.
Yeah, I didn't even think about. See, again, I didn't even make it to this month.
I agree. The cover to Great Western Trail does look like the bean scene from Blazing Saddles.
Oh my goodness.
Let's see what else. I don't know. I don't see anything else. So you have any questions? We'll answer them real quick. Then we're gonna get on out of here.
I like the fact that everyone was arguing about Macau the second time around.
Yeah.
Whether it was in Portugal or in China. That was good. Well played. Vampire Radar.
So what are some of your favorite games that you played this year that did not come out in 2017?
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments. And that maybe give us a shopping list.
Yeah, definitely.
A shopping list of things to try. Just kind of some shopkeeping. My top 10 games of all time is coming out in 2 days on Thursday.
Oh my gosh. That was fun. We just filmed that Monday. And
yeah, we just filmed it yesterday.
That was a blast.
Last night we filmed the final.
Oh yeah, Monday was yesterday.
final one. And kind of the spoil, since you guys hung around and was on this list, we're going to do a live after party. So you can come in person, well, kind of in person, in internet-erson. Inter-erson. And tell me what I missed, what I did wrong, why my list is garbage.
The list sucks.
And someone
Who
is about to start their top 100 list very, very soon. Look for the first.
Oh my god!
The first show coming up in the next few weeks.
That is going to be the toughest list ever. I am. Wow.
What's the worst game we played in 2017? It was called Twist of Fate. No offense to Mr. Knizia.
Wait, whoa, hold on.
I threw that in the garbage. I did not curse anyone with that game.
You hated it worse than the Exit game?
Oh. Yeah, yes.
Wow!
Yes.
Oh, we should have kept that and framed it then.
Yes, that's the worst game I played
He
in 2000.
punched the Exit game. That tells you how much
Twist
he hated
of Fate.
Twist of
That
Fate.
game was horrid. Horrid.
We really should have set it in fire.
Exit the game. I can see where there is a good game there. If I take a step back, take my personal opinions out of it,
and me,
and look at the game, I can see why that would be an amazing game for a lot of people.
Change the game completely.
But me personally, I am not good with obscure hints. Not even hints. Like you hear someone whispering around the corner hints to games. I like logic puzzles where all the information is right there in front of me and I can figure it out. A lot of these games is
without help.
If you look at random page 7, look at a picture and match that with something that you drew and combine it with 3 things over here.
And then when the sun shines through the box at exactly this angle.
Yeah, no. I'm out on puzzles like that. I like logic puzzles, I like math puzzles, I like things like that, where all the information is right that you need is right in front of you, and it's still difficult to figure out. I don't need, to take a logic puzzle, cut up the words, and scatter them to the 4 winds, and I've got to find all the words and put them together, and then I get to do a logic puzzle.
See how fun he is to play with?
So, but I can see where people love games like that, that would love a game. So I don't say it's the worst game I played. It's probably the worst game for me personally, but I don't think it's the worst game. Now, Twist of Fate is just garbage.
Literally now.
It is literally garbage.
The best thing about it is that A, is in the trash now, but B, it kind of looked like a book. Problem was, it was a Dickens book, and it didn't. That's where the similarity between it and the book ended.
It was just bad.
Yeah.
That game, the one time we played it, I just literally gave Nessa everything she could do to possibly win the game.
We were like, please.
So the game would end quicker.
And she loved digging it into you. That was so funny. Even Nessa was like,
she's like, you're not doing very well, Daddy. I'm like, yeah, I'm not. Just get this.
Okay, just tells you, I mean, the child's perceptive anyway. Even Nessa thought there was something wrong with the game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
She was asking, she's like, this is it?
Nessa's like, what else do you do? What is I won't go too far. Basically, you play a card, and you play a card on someone, and they get a benefit. They get a benefit, and you get a benefit.
Or one gets a benefit, one gets a detriment, and you can choose.
And all you do is play cards on each other.
Card.
And you're trying to get enough.
You get 3 shamrocks and a lucky golden leprechaun. I don't know.
There's 2 currencies. If you get 4 of either currency, you move 1 space on a board.
There's no board. It's not a board, though.
It's like a little track. And so all you're doing is play a card.
Why are we talking about this garbage?
Oh my gosh, it was
terrible.
It looked like someone spent 10 minutes making this game.
And
what's sad? It's freaking Reiner Knizia game, which blows my mind. But anyway,
I think someone stole his name.
No, someone went to him and said, "I need a Dickens game in 10 minutes. Go." And he's like, "Okay, you got these cards."
I still think that Katie and Nessa could design a better game.
So you should check out Twist of Fate. That's a great game. So what was your worst game of the year?
Well, Twist of Fate. Hello.
Okay.
Although Exit's a very close second.
With playing with me? Don't play exit games with me.
Nope. No problem.
Because eventually, halfway through the game, I'm like, hint, hint, hint.
He doesn't even wait for you to look at the clues. I'm like, hey, what about this? And he's like, let me see this. I don't like this puzzle. And I'm like, can I look at it? Can I look at it? It's not solvable.
It was a memorable experience.
That was, yes.
Well,
that's what I tell my therapist.
This bad game is riling me up.
You know, therapy.
I think Eric Lang has a point. Someone needs to come up with a board game channel that's all negative.
That would be funny as crap. We can do that. I'll tell you. Great Western Trail sucks.
What?
You see? Now what?
I gotta tune in.
Now what?
What does she mean it sucks?
Crappy cows, people.
Alright, folks. That is all for tonight. Thanks so much for joining us. Look for our top games of 2017 next week. And then we're into 2018. Woo-hoo! So exciting.
Happy last day of Hanukkah and Merry Christmas and Kwanzaa, and we'll probably see you all before all this stuff hits. But, you know, have awesome December holidayness.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, top that. Bye. No. Have a wonderful time, and we'll see you when you watch Hunter's Top 10.
You won't see them. They'll see a pre-recording.
We'll see your viewings of you viewing
we'll see them probably at the live after show, but we'll probably have a live thing.
We're so doing it. It's going to happen. So come party with us.
Bye-bye.